Hi, my name is Seth Taylor, and I'm the Chief Business Officer and co-founder of SmartLabs. I'm here to talk to you today about the need to access infrastructure that is flexible and can be rapidly deployed to the unique needs of biopharma and especially cell and gene therapy companies. One of the biggest challenges that we see in life science, especially in biopharma and even cell and gene therapy companies in particular, is a transition around having monopurpose labs that are built for specific workflow and specific need that have to be developed and planned out 12 to 24 months in advance to be implemented on a custom build out that requires a large amount of capital intensive investment in the infrastructure itself. And the consequence of this is you have very little flexibility once you've built that monopurpose lab to change it. So one of the key elements that we notice is that companies are often changing what their needs are as they go along. It's not so easy to plan 12 to 24 months out. Oftentimes they need additional space for a new functionality they didn't realize they needed, or they want to ramp up a team and make it 2x more than they thought they needed. These are all things that drive the need for space. Also, startups that want to start up from ground zero, they need to have a space right from the get-go that they can grow a team of 20 to 50 to 100. So all these are different ways in which companies suddenly find themselves in a place where they need new infrastructure and they can't plan it out 12 to 24 months in advance. So let's look at the cell and gene therapy companies in particular. What we've noticed, especially for those companies, that their technology is new, the modality is just getting proven out, and for them it's very important to control the R&D process. It's hard to outsource some of the novel capabilities that are being built in today's cell and gene therapy companies. Very unique cell biology workflows, very unique viral requirements. They often want to use lab automation to be able to collect large amounts of data and do it systematically. They can use like AI and other tools on the back end. They often need a vivarium to support animal work, and they also want to have integrated GXP, because it turns out it's not easy to transit opportunities in cell and gene therapies to a CDMO. So we allow in SmartLabs the ability to integrate all those capabilities under one roof and do it in a way that allows a cell and gene therapy company to build from lab all the way to GXP and variabilize the heavy cost of infrastructure that are often a major challenge for these companies. So to give us a couple examples, Richstone Bio came to us at a point when they needed to grow and expand. We were able to help them double their team over 2 years and advance 2 candidates into clinical development, which generated partnerships with $50 million. We also helped Sana Biotech launch, and they were able to grow a team 25x scale, 25x over 8 months. And this helped the company both validate with their team and also their R&D in the lab, and supported them closing an astounding $816 million in funding over that same period of time. And finally, Blue Rock came to us following an acquisition by a large pharma. And again, the goal was to help pivot that company to have a team in the Boston area. So we helped them set up a lab with all different kinds of functionality to support that team as they grew it up to 30 people in a very short period of time. And during that same time, the company was actually closing a large number of partnerships. So let's talk about one specific company. This company came to us, another cell and gene therapy company, working on a proprietary therapeutic platform for neurological disorders that focused on intracellular targeting of DNA, or nucleic acids rather. And they had to get out of a sublease situation. A lot of companies in the Boston and Bay Area are often on subleases to access infrastructure. They wanted to get into something larger and more meaningful to help them really increase their team by about 4x over 12 months, and also build more of an internal capability around some areas like animal work they have had traditionally to outsource to CROs. So in one location, we were able to help them deploy an R&D lab, a vivarium capability, and a GXP infrastructure to support their product development, and did an incredibly low CapEx for the company compared to doing the alternative, which is growing a space from a custom build out. So when you look at the lab, it is designed around a number of different capabilities. The R&D lab covers a number of capabilities from molecular biology, cell biology, and other kinds of analytical work. And then they can put it into a process lab that does GXP level support for pilot scale volume of materials they're going to drop into animals, which is the last space to have. So Vivarium lets them access animal space, so they can take a substance, develop it in R&D, run it through the manufacturing process, and then put it in animals. So this is an opportunity they could create a smart labs and do it in one area, which makes it a very much more efficient space for them to work in. And so they were also able to grow over time. They found themselves starting out with one research lab and then over time evolving into additional needs for innovation space. In our case, it's space that's good for up to 10 people. And then also moving into the vivarium environment. They had to have all these different elements added on step by step as they grew their program. So we allowed them to expand inside of SmartLabs as their needs changed. And they were able to accomplish an important process of lead optimization. So in the lead optimization, they were able to take a concept of development in R&D and push it into a GLP material environment to actually build it essentially as pilot scale volume, and then test it in animals in their vivarium, and then and then from there determine if they want to optimize it and where they want to optimize and go through that process again. Historically, they would have to do that using outsourced animal support, and that process would take anywhere from a month to 6 weeks to get the data back and do the analysis and tie it all together. By virtue of bringing it all in-house at SmartLabs, they're able to bring this process down to 1 week or even less to accomplish the same level of information gathered because it's all integrated together, and they can manage that process much more efficiently without any delays. So the combination of having the space, the team growth, and the ability to make progress like this on their lead optimization helped them in closing $140 million in financing while they're at SmartLabs. So SmartLabs has developed what we call a managed research center. The concept is to be able to combine a very flexible lab environment that can support a wide range of R&D, from chemistry all the way through cell biology, molecular biology, and even up into manufacturing and animal work, all across the drug discovery R&D chain, and allow that to be deployed in a matter of weeks to support anywhere from 10 to 20, 200 scientists, and not only provide the lab infrastructure, but also the operations that are required to go alongside of that. So in a multi-user environment, each company gets their own dedicated space, and our support team supports their actual R&D team doing the work. So that means all of the clients have to bring to SmartLabs is the scientists and the managers, and we take care of the rest. So let's talk a little about what that involves. So we're trying to variabilize the heavy cost and capital intensive aspects of the lab infrastructure and the associated operations and lab services. And then you bring the process, the science, and the people, all managed by your group and your team, so you retain all the intellectual property in the R&D process. But what we're doing on the side of the operations is providing you the enterprise IT, the facilities and office management, the lab operations, scientific services, and EH&S and compliance. We take care of all those elements. And on the R&D infrastructure side, we can build a lab that fits your need to your custom workflows and then change that over time and support things like new instruments that you may want to launch, changes in team size, changes in team requirements based on different kinds of research opportunities that might emerge. We can manage all that with our experts that are really excellent in designing workflow support alongside of our clients. So we can help optimize how that lab is set up to make your team more effective. And we also provide the in vivo testing facilities for animal work and also GXP facilities for eventual commercialization in manufacturing. So all this is built around what we've developed at SmartLabs, a unique concept called the Universal Lab Framework. We can now take a space and make it into whatever specific kind of space the client needs and do that in just 2 to 4 weeks. Normally this process would take anywhere from 12 to 18 months. And so therefore you can dial up a space when you need it for a specific kind of function. Maybe you have a team that needs to do a lot more cell biology, or maybe you have a team that needs to do more process development work. We can create a lab designed to support that team and do that in a very short period of time and allow the company therefore to pivot more efficiently when unexpected requirements emerge. So looking at it, what we do when a client comes in is we really help across the board in designing the space and do it in a relatively short period of time. Working with scientists, we can identify their requirements. We build our operational program around those needs along with the requirements around training and compliance. We provide all the training and EH&S to support your team in our program space. We also provide a reporting interface through our SmartLabs OS, if you will, and we have also the integrated capability to support the data collection so that it all gets managed on a proprietary data framework for that company. We provide a QMS platform to support GXP applications, and we do a delivery of this service with the idea like you were at a hotel. The quality is there, the tickets response rate is very short, 2 to 4 hours. We can respond to and make changes on the fly. It's really building a new concept of how people engage with lab infrastructure. So we've addressed a wide range of companies. We've been up and running since 2015. We've worked with many different kinds of organizations, early stage startups that have raised anywhere from 10 to 100 or even more as a first or second round of financing. We've worked with large pharma and even in between companies, publicly traded life science companies. We've worked at a wide range of companies and across a great number of different kinds of modalities, from small molecule to biologics to cell and gene therapy, and even CRO companies. All of them find benefit from this unique, flexible model. And if you look at it, cell and gene therapy companies in particular make up almost 40% of our clients historically. So this is really an area where we think we can add a lot of value to the industry. And we've been doing a wide range of different kinds of work inside of SmartLabs. Companies have worked on oncology, neurology, rare and orphan disease, and many other areas or indications in building next generation therapeutics. And again, the stage of these companies varies. Some are just starting up until they have early stage products in R&D. Others are looking to develop and advance products into clinical trials, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So we've worked across the board and support these companies in all stages of development. So let's talk a little bit about the manufacturing capability. This really offers a unique opportunity for cell and gene therapy companies that are really putting a lot of emphasis on maintaining control of the IP in manufacturing. So the value of SmartLabs is to help you launch a manufacturing environment in 4 to 8 weeks and let you work with our QMS alongside of yours to allow your team to work inside of a SmartLabs operated GXP space with operational support. And then your team can now build towards launching a therapeutic to a pilot scale or even beyond. And the value point is that you can control all the elements that go into that process development or GXP space, and therefore retain all the IP, and at some point choose to transfer that over to a partner or a CDMO once you've validated this process and launched it through even pilot scale clinical trial support. So we think this is a unique opportunity, very meaningful for cell and gene therapy companies, and it helps them have that piece of the manufacturing covered by SmartLabs. In summary, when you're in a situation where a pivot has happened and infrastructure is slowing you down and causing delays, reach out to us at smartlabs.com. Thank you.